So whilst we've got our mental health awareness look on, so I wanted to talk about mental health, chronic illness. Which one came first? It's like the chicken or the egg. So with my personal journey, one showed up before the other. Now I have got things from when I was a child, traumas, things that happened that had an effect on me. But I wasn't diagnosed with anxiety until 2014, depression 2017. Both on two different occasions, which should have been exciting. Like the depression was when I first lived on my own. Was I depressed about living on my own? No, that's different. I was quite excited about it. My dad was nearby, so and I spoke to the doctor about this, and he was like, what can happen is, especially in some females, well, some males, you can harbour those feelings, those thoughts, the mental health battles. You battle it up, battle, until you can battle no more. And how was that? That makes sense. Yep. So I was like, so the reason I'm doing this video, Lindsay actually brought it up on hers, and I was like, can I talk about you? She was like, yeah, obviously we work together, but we also work differently on our awarenesses. And we are both at very different journeys and had different journeys. We met on this journey. So mine kind of comes from childhood. Like I said, like I'd lost both grandparents by the time that I was turning. I'd lost them both at 12 and a half years. I've spoken about their different exits to this world and what I think about them, and some people agree, some people disagree. And I was the eldest at that time, so I have my feelings about what, when, how, and all that. I was also horribly bullied from 10 to 16. And I'll get bullied on here instead. It's brilliant. So what came first? Probably the mental health. But when did I first get fibro? No one knows. No one will ever know. So growing up, I had difficulty being active due to pain. So when we don't live far from the Peak District, or we didn't growing up, and the rest of my family are walkers. And so Peak District, walking on these, you get down. Remote islands in Scotland, very picturesque, not a lot to do, apart from work. And my memories of these was me sat down crying, could not see my family for dust because I was so far behind I couldn't shout to them. They couldn't see me. and I'd have massively increasing pain down my calves to the point of I couldn't walk no more. So I'd have to sit wherever I was and wait for the pain to dull down to walk a bit further again. Didn't make my family turn back round and let's go home. That was never an option. That's consideration. My dad was always the one who was sent back to find where I'd got to, where I'd not got to. More the point. It was like, oh, she's big. Oh, she's that. She can't handle it. No, I remember this memory, but the time when, especially my mum, thinks that my fibro started was my brain hemorrhage. We believe mine was set off from trauma, but I had a traumatic birth. I had my first operation in 2019. I had a brain hemorrhage in 2009. I had 5 seizures in the space of a few hours in 2016. Take your pick. But what I can say, battling chronic illnesses involves mental health without a doubt, 120%. Now, if I was to say to someone, what would be harder for you, pain or fatigue? You battled both with fibro. You could see it today. My eyes, like the makeup, it's transparent basically. What would be worse? The majority of people, I would say the pain. For me, the pain's definitely there today, but the fatigue definitely affects my mental health more. It's more demoralizing towards my mental health. I could see this going into 2 parts. And what I mean by that is, okay, the pain's there. It brings you down. It's like, not again. Why? Why again? Why this? But the fatigue stops you in your tracks. Like Lindsay does a key ring and it says something upon the lines of, I did something yesterday, so I can't today. That is so true. The fatigue. Now, before I had fibro, I just assumed fatigue was just another word for tired. It's not. Like fatigue and tired are distant cousins, once removed, whatever. Yes, they come from the same family, but like Alex said to me, he's tired today. But fatigue is like extreme tiredness multiplied. You cannot move, you have no motivation, you like are past getting words out, you can't string that sentence together that makes sense. Like, I have 2 words that my fatigue comes out: pizzazz and shizzle. When I can't find the word in this thing that I want to say, pizzazz and shizzle. I even know what they mean, but it helps me to kind of get the stuff out there. Right, we're going to go to a part 2. So, how does fibre affect mental health. Both awareness month, so we're going to bash it out. So with me, everyone else is different, so do your own videos or put in the comments. But everyone's different, but mine is my fatigue. Now, I've spoken in previous videos about my grief and how I'm not ready to give that person up who I was yet. I still want to do those stuff. It's not a thing, but I'm not ready to give that person up. And the fatigue alone makes you feel like, or with me, makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Makes me feel like I can't do the stuff that I want to do. I can't be who I want to be. And it makes you feel like that. You feel worthless. You feel you're not worthy of love. You're not worthy of people's time, because you can't give time back to them. So why will people give you time? These are the thoughts that go through my mind. Like, you didn't go and support me on my life, so why should I go and support you on yours? That person was live the other day, but I was fatigued to shizzle. Like, there's been times recently, Chaz and Josh, for example, both went live in the evenings. 2 separate days. But everyone knows, I am battered right now, but everyone knows my evening from 6 o'clock onwards. Very, very, very rarely on social media, anything. I will reply to messages, be there for my close, small, very small group of friends. But I'm not, because I need that time to decompress from the day, to process everything that's gone on. And that's why I write my journal and get it all out of here onto that so I can sleep. But I do feel like I'm not capable of doing half the stuff I want to do. And I know for full fact, people translate my not being able to do stuff as I'm lazy. Like, I'm not daft. I see your thoughts. I see people's opinions. That's fine. Just, you know what, you no one sees the battles we go through here. Like, I will be posting this on a later day. I haven't a clue when. But today, I woke up feeling like this. And I was like, no, you are not beating me. Not a chance. And then I walked into a chuffing door frame and wall. And did my foot in, did my toes in. And I've still done my walk, like I promised. At the time, I promised. But now, I feel hopeless. I feel... So my dad's working upstairs on his lunch break when he came down here. I said, if you're down here by 5, can you put my tea in the microwave and bring it to me for me? Like, I am 36 years old. This is what my life has become. It's no fun. I don't want it to be like this. I would give it up in a heartbeat. But I am learning that I have to. No ifs, no buts, no fucking coconuts. I have to ask for help. Now, I know I'm getting better at it because I'm not flaring as much. I'm sat here in pain right now. My back is like, no. But this morning I woke up and felt absolutely shocked about myself. Like, today's the day I'm going to have to fail. Like, the thought of that 10-minute walk, absolutely. In these days, I've said yes to a family event at the end of this month. And I still want to go. But I know that it is going to take a lot out of me. I still need to do a walk that day as well. God bless my soul. I still need to do a walk that day. And I know family members who haven't seen me for years are going to be there. And when was the last time I saw them? 2021. 2 years ago. They've been invited, I don't have to go. And I know the whole questions about, why don't you try this and it'll all go away? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I should think so. My dad's lobbing stuff downstairs. And I know I'm going to get all these questions of, well, you could work from home, you could do this. Yeah. And those questions are so demoralising because, like, do people think that we don't want to work? Do people think that we don't want the life we had? I would give up this house and live in a bedsit if I had to. Don't like Alex's bedsit. In a flat if I was able to work. I would give up my makeup to work. My makeup now, my get out of my head mode. I know we've digressed a bit, but not being able to live the life you want and to have it out of your hands and not knowing how you're going to wake up in the morning and what you're going to be able to do is the worst feeling ever. Like, we think when we become adults, we're going to be able to handle whatever's thrown at us. It's not like that. And how do I feel about the next few years? I'm scared to death. Scared to death. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, we've got plans. Me and my dad have got plans, but it's just strategic plans in place. But it's damn scary. I am not going to lie. But I will never quit raising awareness. I will never quit being me. And if I can help one person realise what they're going through, they're not on their own. And to inspire one person, my job's done. That's all I want to do. I never want anyone to be on their own like I was when I started my fibro journey, my mental health journey. Inside your head can be the worst place ever sometimes. And go to sleep.